Are you fond of new cars? Let's review the Volkswagen Arteon puts road presence above everything else. This is a vehicle that sparkles best with unobtrusive assumptions for what it'll convey. The Arteon isn't, says Volkswagen, a substitution for the Passat CC, however rather another competitor that is proposed to raise the brand higher than ever. The carmaker depicts the Arteon as a cutting-edge Gran Turismo, to which we answer it's a dapper hatchback that is enthusiastic about looks and huge inside. Those goals connected to it are really sizable, as well, in light of the fact that dissimilar to the Passat CC, it's focusing on some excellent badged rivals from Audi and BMW. In particular, vehicles like the A5 Sportback and 4-arrangement Gran Car. Volkswagen thinks the Arteon has the proportion of them, however, dimensionally. It's a vehicle not ailing in scale. That doesn't simply give it presence, however space, as well. It'll knock some people's socks off. We've seen nothing from VW so clearly and extremely styled. It's occupied and fascinating contrasted and the organization's all the more regularly controlled standard, particularly following its midlife facelift, which has seen the expansion of chintzier lights and a smooth shooting brake kart rendition. Also, a 316 horsepower Arteon R. The Arteon's tidy-up has seen it arise significantly more certain than upon its 2017 dispatch, with more choices. Costs begin at a bristle once again £30,000 p $1.94 million, truly not that much, given the sheer size of the thing, which purchases a 1.5-litre gas with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Moving up to a shooting brake is a simple £800 p $51,720 choice. On normal Arteons, you have got a decision of 4 motors, 148 horsepower and 187 horsepower fuel turbos, and 148 horsepower and 197 horsepower turbodiesels. You can add a 7-speed double-grasped gearbox and 4-motion all-wheel drive contingent upon spec, add them on the off chance that you can bear to, we think while that range-besting Arteon R gets both of those as standard. A module hybrid is practically around the bend. We presume that will progress admirably, as well. The normal force yield of the Arteon range seems to have moved to descend over the long run, in any event, representing the presence of the R, recommending individuals are taken with the manner in which it looks, yet needs something somewhat more effective sat behind that dapper flame broil light combo. It's even reflected in the wheel decisions. At dispatch, we were advised the Arteon was intended to run on 20-inch wheels, to best fill the curves and match the remainder of the planned strut. Post-facelift, it dispatches on 17-inch amalgams, named Cardiff, according to VW's system of naming every one of its wheels after areas, conjuring pictures of an especially rowdy night out with 18 and 19 inches discretionary. There's something interesting that unobtrusively modifies how we feel about the immense range of items in the VW gathering after moving out of them. That thing is called assumption. The serious conduct of an Audi S3 will disillusion anybody to put resources into the Quattro badging, where comparative habits in an Octavia VRS feel complete with regards to the bring forth for guardians tasteful it wears. This is a marginally tangled method of clarifying why your first go in the Arteon will most likely disillusion you. It drives like a major Volkswagen. It drives like a Passat, indeed, it simply doesn't appear as though one. In this way, you'd be pardoned for being a spot disappointed by its delicate ride, its casual step, and its default to protected, perfect dealing with over anything taking after the deftness of a 4-arrangement. In any case, this is a locally front-driven large car that will consume the greater part of its time on Earth being driven in straight lines for an extensive stretch of time. Inclining vigorously away from liveliness and into the universe of solace is actually the thing it should do. The 268 horsepower gas that used to top the reach never entirely impelled the Arteon with the life its spec sheet may have proposed. For all the motor's good low fire-up force, it actually required wringing out a reasonable piece to move the huge Arteon with anything moving toward Vim. Obviously, at that point, the 187 horsepower gas that currently drives procedures underneath the huge kid Arteon R, in any event, feels yet more stressed, and the motor doesn't sound particularly great when you work it hard. So don't. Keep things quiet, embrace a portion of the Arteon's free enterprise demeanor, and like the advantage of the space and tech it's packed with. We'll have a go in the Arteon R at the appropriate time. However, we presume its acquaintance has permitted VW specialists to increase the animosity in the most powerful variation and leave the remainder of the reach to perform rep responsibilities with the base of the complaint. Spec the versatile suspension, and it offers change through the standard settings including Solace, Ordinary, and Game. 2 by means of the slider bar where you can acclimate to levels between even those presets, to locate your own, medium uncommon. That is a lot of suspension decisions, and except if you're especially delicate of the base, you're probably not going to see any sizable contrast between them. At no time when pitching the 1.8-ton Arteon into a corner did we think we required more solidness than Solace gave. It's simply not such a vehicle you will hurl about for no reason whatsoever, and picking Game just adds undesirable debasement to the ride comfort. Its wide track helps its solidness, the discretionary 4-motion carries with it consoling footing, the hold is high and the directing is exact if ailing in anything you could portray as criticism. That is fine, and with regards to its brief, yet we revisitation of that problem of assumption. Definitely, given the capturing looks, it wouldn't do any harm if, away from its huge mile-chomping capacity and refinement, it was somewhat more capturing in the driver's seat. It's large inside, the Arteon tremendously obliging for 4 grown-ups, and nicely agreeable for 5. It's all very Volkswagen, or, in other words, perfectly planned and simple to work, the middle scramble overwhelmed by an enormous touchscreen containing abundant information and amusement choices. The Arteon's facelift has seen most dashboard catches supplanted by contact delicate sparkle dark surfacing. This may irritate a few, yet in any event, not at all like in the Mk8 Golf. The AC controls are for all time beneath the touchscreen as opposed to being covered in a menu within it. There's an advanced presentation instead of traditional instruments, configurable to show nav or amusement decisions just as carefully portrayed instrumentation. The seats are agreeable, the driving position is brilliant, and the view out is shockingly acceptable notwithstanding the tightening roofline. It's in the secondary lounges that the Arteon shocks the most. There's heaps of room there, leg and foot room great, however, in case you're taller than 6 feet, you may begin to feel somewhat restricted on headroom. The pillarless entryways add a touch of class and furthermore ease access, while the little window in the C-column stretches out behind the shoulders of back travelers, expanding the vaporous, light feel to the lodge back there. Add a liberal trunk, 563 liters situates up, 1,557 with them flipped down. That is gotten to by a colossal hatchback in the Arteon may be charged as an alluring, optimistic, and liberal buy, yet it's not to the detriment of reasonableness. Particularly now that there's a shooting brake with considerably more space. It, as well, comes in a 316 horsepower R structure. Pinnacle family cart? Taking the battle to Audi and BMW in a specialty commercial center is an eager move from Volkswagen, even with a vehicle as strikingly styled and widely prepared as the Arteon. To drive, it doesn't contrast its opponents, which is an issue on the first associate, however maybe less so after some time. In any case, the best obstacle the Arteon looked at dispatch was its absence of an upmarket identification. The way that VW has added a totally different body style just as an exhibition R variant recommends it's an obstacle the Arteon's cleared. However, the presence of a tiddly fuel motor at a reachable cost additionally proposes, esteem, is a selling point over picture. In any case, this is a vehicle that sparkles best with unobtrusive assumptions for what it'll convey. Go in expecting a legitimate Grand Roadster opponent and you'll be left dampened. Consider it a Passat style influencer and you'll be unmistakably more taken with the Arteon. If you have any comments or something in your mind you want to share, let us know in the comment below. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook channel. Keep safe and have a good day.